Good morning from Glasgow. Look at those clouds, aren't they amazing? It is a really beautiful day today, 1st of February, here on the Brumalon, south side, where I had my dance today. And the day is, of course, still emerging. So, hello! Great. Yeah, just great morning. Lovely things happening in the clouds, which are just, gosh, I can't, put enough, not stress, but I can't say enough in terms of, since I've been doing this practice for 3 weeks today, how much more awake I am to the beauty of life, really, which normally I would be closing down. I wouldn't be outside to capture this absolute beauty that is here. And the other thing is that I've been speaking a lot about the birds, and it's one of these things that, because I'm really paying attention to them, I find it's that thing of really embodying yourself, like really physically moving in your body as you're meant to move. Because when I was approaching 30 and I was working in the film industry, and I started to think that I was a little bit out of it at 29. But that's what our society tells us, and intellectually and intuitively I knew that was wrong. Although I really felt that. So I started to look towards examples of women who were embodied, who I felt were embodied, which led me on this whole dance journey, which started with flamenco and then led me to India and studying all different kinds of these ancient dances and then looking and then finding out a lot about pre-Christian and pre-Judaic culture, and so much of what hasn't been lost, because thankfully there are so many remnants left, but maybe has been underplayed for so long, and it's time for these things to come back to the surface. Because of course there's archaeological evidence of goddesses and of the queen spirit, I'll call it, because not woman, it's the queen spirit, being revered going back 25,000 BC. There is archaeological evidence. And so that matriarchal, if you want to call it matrilineal culture, I think is probably more appropriate, is so ingrained within our fabric. A time when we really honored the nature of Earth, and we lived in line with the planets, and not, I don't mean astrology necessarily, but the waxing and waning of the moon. Had to be very respectful of the Earth, and we have completely been disrespectful of the Earth for quite a long time right now, and myself included. So it's good there is an awakening and a coming back to that. And it's fascinating because today I was asked by a friend in the States to dance. She's starting a new job, and she said, please dance, because I'm a bit nervous about it. And it's that whole thing and of the unknown. And so I was reflecting on this, because I similarly am in a space of waiting for some things to, I'm having to live very intuitively these days, because in the concrete world there's a lot of uncertainty for me, and so I can really empathize with that. Good morning. And so I can really empathize with that, and I thought it's something that came to my mind was this idea of that all is well, because it's not in terms of what. Everything is fine in hindsight, as I've said, in terms of what your past did. It's funny because we love to tell these stories. Oh, and so. We'll talk about somebody who's quote unquote successful and say, oh, and they went bankrupt and they had this horrible illness and they got a divorce, and it was like all the horrible stuff. But we put it aside and we forget how really, really scary that is. and actually living through it, like intellectually, and like, okay, I can get through this, but and will. And it is that whole thing about, there's that Native American practice, I think it's called a vision quest, where a young man on the verge of quote-unquote manhood is brought, he has to spend like 3 nights in the forest or something like this, when in actual fact, like, he's not told his father is there always to kind of protect him, but he needs to grow into all those resources that he has within him in order to survive, and his family has prepared him for this. And so I think that that's a really a wonderful thing to think on when we're going into new situations, because the thing is, we have to pull in greater resource within ourselves, because there we don't have the familiarity on the other side, and that is very, very a very wonderful thing. And so this whole thing about, I was thinking, because the only thing that came to my mind this morning, not only thing, but one of the things was, it kept saying, well, all is well, all is well, all is well, right here, right now, all is well. And so of course I looked up well in my etymology dictionary, like I do, and Quelle surprise, I wasn't surprised. Of course, the roots to it, going back before 15 and 1600s, when everything changed, it became a concrete thing, it was very much associated with the uterus, the well of life, as it were. So I think that it's worth remembering when you say all is well, that resource is within you. You contain it. So I did a dance, included all that today. There you go. And had a lovely meeting with a gentleman, Thomas, who stopped by. He said, I've seen you every day, and you make me smile. What are you doing? And we had a great chat. He owns some businesses in Glasgow, and he said, I think that if anything can, regardless of what somebody might think of it, if it makes you smile, then that can only be a good thing. So he was very, really lovely in complimenting that, and that was great too for me to receive that gift. And the other thing I would like to say, that there was a gentleman kind of standing towards quite a bit away from me this morning, and I'm quite blind. I might have said this before. And so I see people's energy, or their aura, or I sense people moving towards me if they want to talk to me physically. But I can't really make out features of the face unless you're pretty close to me. So I love to talk to people. If you want to come and speak to me or join in, you just have to, I'm very approachable, and I'll love it. Just come up to me, because as I said, I don't know sometimes, because I can't see. And I don't have contacts, and I don't wear my glasses when I'm dancing. So that's that. So anyway, that's for today. I'm gonna head out, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you here tomorrow. Let me know if you have any wishes. Bye.